Hindu genocide, we remember what you died for. Each year, the month of October brings back the haunting memories of the Hindu and Sikh genocide that unfolded in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, POJK, after Pakistan attacked the state of Jammu and Kashmir on October 22, 1947. In the city of Mirpur alone, at least 100,000 Hindus and Sikhs lost their lives, rounded up and executed in cold blood, beheaded, and crushed with stones. Their only crime, that they were not Muslim. These innocents, men, women, children, became victims of a communal fury that showed no mercy. Balkay Gupta, a survivor who was only 6 years old at the time, recounts the horror in his autobiography. He describes how from November 25, 1947 onwards, Pakistan's regular army and tribal Lashkar forces unleashed unspeakable atrocities on the Hindu and Sikh communities as they captured Mirpur and surrounding regions. Gupta writes that after the Timalain massacre of Delhi in 1358, the massacre of Mirpur was the most horrific in Indian history. At the time of capture, Mirpur's Hindu and Sikh population was nearly 25,000. Before the Pakistani army and tribal Pathans took the city, around 2,500 managed to flee with the retreating forces of the Jammu and Kashmir state. Another 2,500 were killed or burned alive as Pakistani artillery rained destruction, igniting flames that engulfed entire neighborhoods. The remaining 20,000 were forced on a brutal death march to Ali Beg, where the Gurdwara built by Sant Sundar Singh was converted into a makeshift prison camp. On the road to Ali Beg, at least 10,000 Hindu and Sikh men were executed by Pakistani troops and tribal militias. Another 5,000 women were kidnapped, torn from their families and from the lives they should have been able to live in peace. When the International Committee of the Red Cross finally arrived at Ali Beg in March 1948, only 1,600 survivors remained. They were transferred to Rawalpindi and eventually to Jammu, where they and their children lived as refugees for 75 long years, until August 5, 2019, when Articles 370 and 35A were abrogated, granting them equal rights as Indian citizens. Despite desperate appeals from Hindu and Sikh leaders to the Indian government, led by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru at the time, help never arrived. On November 13, 1947, Ramlal Chaudhry, along with MLAs and MC Maharjan, the then Prime Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, travelled to New Delhi to plead for assistance. Nehru refused to meet them, except for Maharjan, who pleaded for help to rescue approximately 100,000 Hindus and Sikhs trapped in POJK. Even on November 24, just one day before the genocide began, Premnath Dogra and Professor Balraj Madak met Nehru at Jammu airport, warning him of the dire situation. Instead of decisive action, Nehru lost his temper, dismissing them and telling them to consult Sheikh Abdullah. And so, as Hindu and Sikh families waited for Indian troops that never came, Mirpur fell on November 25, 1947. What followed was a tragedy that still stains the pages of history, a genocide that was the direct result of the communal rage that had engulfed not just Jammu and Kashmir, but also Punjab, Bihar, and Bengal. Mirpur's population, swollen by refugees seeking safety, became the perfect target for a communal fury that refused to see humanity beyond religion. October now stands as a grim reminder of that dark chapter in our history. Each year, the pain and the wounds of 1947 come alive again, reminding us that these Hindus and Sikhs perished simply because they believed in Sanatan Dharma. Their sacrifice cannot, and must not, be forgotten. We owe it to them to remember, to honor, and to ensure that their deaths were not in vain. We remember what you died for, and we carry your memory in our hearts forever. May your stories inspire us to build a world where no child, no family, no community ever has to suffer such cruelty again. Let their sacrifice be our call to courage, unity, and justice.